Hello creative friends, I hope you're well. So recently I have published a video on my 2021 word, which is connecting. And from the comments we've extracted the words that came back the most. So we have a nice compiled list that I will be picking from time to time and attempt to illustrate some of those words for you. So one that attracted me was kindness, because I think it's somewhat fitting with the theme for this month, which is Valentine's Day. I always think of kindness as a kind heart, and so this is what I'm going to play with. First of all, I'm going to write out the word, and just gonna very lightly trace a line with my pencil. I tend to go silent when I write because I'm famous for misspelling. Already an idea that comes to mind is to, instead of adding a dot on the I would add a tiny little heart. And then how about if we were to create a couple of bubbles, and in some of these bubbles I would install hearts. The idea behind this is to just keep it simple, and my circles are not going to be exact circles, they're going to be misshapen. So just because I think, hey, they're more interesting and I can't do a perfect circle. And I have templates for that, but I kind of don't want to go that route. Do I want to keep them distinct? Maybe not. How about we have a couple that are one behind the other. And some behind the word. Right? Just to create something fun and happy. That could easily be turned into a fun Valentine's Day card. Okay, so what I want to do now, obviously, because I have traced with a pencil, the lines that I have traced are going to be visible. So the only line that I don't want is the straight line, that the ruler line that I added. So I'm just going to bounce on it. This is just a kneaded eraser, which is great because you don't have to rub at the paper. And I would encourage you to use your own handwriting. As you can see, my letters are not even, like this N is much smaller than that one. And it's all good. It's, you know, it's what makes it unique. Sometimes having some sort of a pattern or a shape within a shape of that circle, I think it's fun. And instead of doing these shapes that I'm doing right now, you could also dot, or, you know, introduce a whole bunch of different patterns in the shapes. There's so much you can do. I'm going to start with a very, very light indigo, and here I'm going to pretend that this is a full bubble that goes over, but when I paint the other one, I'm going to go over that portion, just so that we get that superimposed effect. So as you can see, this is a very, very light version of indigo. I can also rinse my brush and pick up some of the excess liquid because I had quite a bit, and I want this one fairly light. So let's paint this one a tad darker. I have way too much liquid on my brush. That method is quite fun because once you've done all your sketching, it's basically paint by numbers, as I call it, because you just have to fill in those shapes with your colors. There's a little floofy here I'm trying to get rid of. There we go. So my other favorite color these days, which is quite surprising to me because I'm not a big fan of red, but I've been using pyrrol red. But the cool thing about pyrrol red is that when you dilute it, I guess like most red, it will become a pinkish color, and I love that. So this is what I'm using right now. This is a very light pyrrol red. I could add a bit more pigment and have one down here. Oops. I dropped my brush. Okay. What can we do? Well, we could embrace it and do boop. And just like that, we've created somewhat of a heart. I can show you. I didn't have a choice. Oh boy. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to paint the word, and for this I'm going to use the brush. You can also use a marker, but I'm just going to use what I've used before. And I'm also going to take indigo. let's embellish this. What I was thinking here is maybe add a couple of lines in here, because I've done this in the past and I really enjoyed that. So essentially I'm at the stage where I like to doodle or add patterns. I'm almost down to my very last bit of this gold. I can see there's a bit of blue in there. But I have the Daniel Smith gold, which is quite a lot transparent, more than the Kremer pigment. Because what I would like to do is go over that big bubble and have a little bit of gold on top, like add, ooh, just to make it shine a little bit. Oh, it's dancing. You see that? That's cool. Why don't I add whatever's left on my brush, which I'm suspecting is a mixture of the blue with the gold. So I'm just going to fill in some of these little shapes inside the circles. Making new discoveries. How cool is that? For now, let's add the gold heart on top of the eye. Oh, makes my heart sing. Makes me happy. How about tiny dots inside this circle? Let's try and fix this one here. Might as well, since I have gold on my brush. Now, this is Operation Delicate. Oh. Oof. Operation Epic Fail. Okay, hold on. We might have to make the heart bigger than we want to. And by we, I mean I. Oh boy. We're okay with that, right? I'm just gonna press down, touch, and let go. That's it. Because, ooh, as I've mentioned, I'm not a big heart person. Like, I just don't know how to do them properly. And now I've got this loaded with gold, and I hate wasting it. I need to start another project. I'm gonna bring in a blank paper just so I don't waste that gold, because I'm just gonna get rid of all of it on this card right here, and eventually I'll do something with it. Okay, so it's dry. Oh, my camera's weird. I do apologize. But the piece is dry. It's super shiny. I love the gold on top of that blue, which is something that I'm gonna have to experiment some more. I really like it. So this is the Daniel Smith, what's it called? Iridescent gold. So I guess it shows up only on dark colors, but I've had it and never used it. So I'm glad I took it out of the cupboards today, because it's a nice special effect. To me now they look more like little gems as opposed to bubbles, which is fitting. I mean, we're all gems in our own way. We're extending kindness to all of us special gems. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I want to say a big thank you to my awesome patrons who support my art over at Patreon, and thank you all so very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. As usual, you'll find a list of supplies in the description of this video. Please stay safe, healthy, and creative, and I will see you soon.